Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Big Finish fans. In this edition, we're doing a November roundup of Big Finish releases. Once again, I'm joined with Luke.
Yes, hello everyone. We are back after over a month now, hasn't it?
Yeah,
I think we did like a little emergency one just after the new logo was announced around
yes,
the
yeah,
end of October. So yeah, been nearly a month, and here we are on the cusp of December. 2022 has slipped away from us. It's almost over.
yeah. A lot of Big Finish to talk about, a lot of news, and of course, covering some of the November releases. So, how have
Yeah,
you been?
just a catch up, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is really.
I've not been too bad. Sort of, it gets a bit depressing this time of year, doesn't it? As the
How quick it
night,
goes. Yeah.
yeah. November's quite a quick month, and then also you've got just it getting darker and darker earlier and earlier. It's just,
Mm.
but yeah, I suppose we're fast approaching the shortest day now, aren't we? So
Yeah.
soon enough, it'll be getting lighter again, and then we can look forward to another summer. I will probably
Yeah.
be complaining that it's too hot by then.
Yeah. Sure.
But yeah, I mean, it's just standard stuff. Really been enjoying some Big Finish. Waiting for my season 2 because that's not long away now. People are already getting theirs.
Monday. Yeah.
Yeah, just standard stuff, really. How about you?
Just dolly hunting, searching for the B&M sets, which are all done. So I can relax. I don't have to go around millions of B&Ms looking for bits of plastic. I can sit back and go, that's another year done. So I'm very happy about that.
Did you take advantage of the online ordering at all? Because I know they've put up everything except the Dalek ones from this wave, isn't it?
I did pick up a Davros set online.
Oh, are they online?
Yeah, they've gone in and out, much like the TARDISes. They've sort of been in and out of stock.
I thought when I saw they were on in store only.
They come online at weird times. Like some people have said they've been online at midnight and they've been there, and then by morning they're gone.
Oh.
So yeah, it's bizarre, but it's good that people have a chance to get some of these sets because they're online and it saves petrol with like a cost of living crisis. It's a good way of people getting sets, really.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, B&Ms, a lot of them are like out in the middle of nowhere in some ways, aren't they? Like at least when it
Yeah,
comes to like train transport, I'd say they're not really like in town centres. They're more in the retail parks that are on the
yeah,
edge of town. So you have to either bus it or drive it, really. So
yeah. The good thing about being when I was at uni, I could literally get a train 5 minutes there, and I'll be at a B&M. So I do miss that aspect.
uh,
But yeah,
do you think things are going to change now because we've got the Regeneration set, haven't we?
that's halfway sold out. So if you want to get that set, which I reckon you should, because it's a bit of history, I can see it changing with Russell. I think they're going to have more access to the resources because those figures have been made probably back in May, I would say.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty early unveil, isn't it?
It's such a quick turnaround. Within a month of the episode airing, we have a 14th Doctor and 13th Doctor figure from Power of the Doctor. It's crazy.
I wonder if that could be connected to the leak about. Remember before the Power of the Doctor came out, we heard about Jodie wearing previous Doctor's bits of costumes. I wonder if maybe the source from that came through the character because they obviously got info about it beforehand. So I wonder if maybe that's the
Maybe.
source of that leak. Although I think quite a few
I
things from
don't
Power of
know.
the Doctor leaked, didn't they? So it's hard to.
Yeah, it's hard to say because I think with like the Chibnall stuff, you're so used to being given like a little breadcrumb of information. You're like, oh, that's really exciting. So maybe it's just that a little bit of nugget of news just to keep us over until we get a trailer or poster.
Yeah, could be. But yeah, certainly things have improved a bit now. I mean, new companion reveal. We haven't talked about that.
No.
I mean,
I
looks
just feel
good, I guess.
old.
That's all.
Yeah,
I can't
that's all
really
you
say
can
I've
really
seen
say.
anything she's been in, but yeah,
No, I
I
can't
suppose for
say
a
I'm
younger
happy.
Doctor, it makes sense to go for another younger companion.
we know the Doctor's type.
Yeah, I mean, the night before we were doing a Regeneration Advent calendar recording. We were recording the parting of the way. No, it was parting of the ways, wasn't it?
Battle
And we
the
did
ways, yeah.
Christmas Invasion same night. And we sort of joked there because we also discussed that Little Children in Need special.
Yeah.
What's Born Again. We joked there about the Doctor having a type of young blonde women. This was before we even knew that we were getting a companion reveal the next day.
Yeah.
And then Russell gives us that what's heart plus ruby, isn't it? Was the image for this with the emojis.
Yeah.
And then we had Ruby revealed, and the Doctor's got another young blonde woman by his side.
Hey, it's for the young uns.
Yeah.
I think that's the good thing about Sheety, but he's capturing like a younger audience.
It is funny thinking like we had Yaz and Ryan, who were, according to Expanded Media, it's never mentioned in the show to be fair, but they're apparently meant to be like 19, weren't they? According to some of the novels.
Yeah.
And yet you got them played by about 30-year-olds, I want to say they were at the time, or late 20s. Now we've got an 18-year-old probably playing an 18 or 19-year-old. So yeah, it's just, and I mean, she was born after Billie Piper was announced as Rose, which it's just weird going from what we've had previously to now. This is the first time we've had a companion younger than us.
That's what makes me feel terribly old.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? Like, I think 18 wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
And then you suddenly, then you see when she was born, you're like, oh god, that was long ago. Oh god.
Yeah, she was like 14 or like 13 when Jodie started. Crazy.
But it doesn't feel that long because that went. I suppose it's because less changes when you reach, like, after you get past 18 or like probably past 21, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you start to notice a bit more. But yeah, anyway, evening, Tom Garb. Thank you for joining us. Evening, Dragon Bugs.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Dragon Bug says, hey, I just started getting into Big Finish this year and have been enjoying quite a lot. But I must say, it does feel a bit overwhelming with the very large selection. I'm unsure if I'll ever be able to catch up. I think, I mean, we got into it 2014, and I don't think we've tried to catch up. I think there's not much hope there. It's best to just go for what interests you and enjoy it. Otherwise, you will be bankrupt.
Just enjoy the ride you go on. Yeah. Enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
Because I'm just trying, like, when you're a teenager, you really want to experience every bit of Doctor Who media. And then as soon as you realise that you can't experience every bit of Doctor Who, life becomes a bit more happier.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it, really? You just got to accept that you can't be a completionist with this. Yeah, I mean, even if you had the money to, would you even have the time to listen to it all?
No.
That's the other question. Hello, Stylish One. Thank you for joining us.
Hello.
Tom Garb says, imagine how you feel when they announce a Doctor Who's younger than you. Yeah, that'll be that'll be a terrifying day. I mean, it could be the very next one. Yeah, just gotta hope Shooty lasts a while so that we're not surprised by it.
I hope he does, because I'm really excited by Shooty. Like, I love the little videos we've been getting of him, and obviously with Millie. Yeah, there's a real good chemistry.
Oh yeah, they got great chemistry in that little video they put out. So that's exciting. Sludge One says, I've been listening to Lady Christina, and dare I say it, one of the best and most consistent Big Finish spin-offs in my opinion. A hot take, but I know that's just a fact. Well, I mean, that's something we've not dived into, so we can't really comment on. But
it was on sale recently, wasn't it?
There's been so many sales.
Yeah, that's true.
You've had the whole 30 days of November thing, haven't you?
Yeah, the Whovember.
It's the Eccleston final today, isn't it? Ravagers.
There's been some stuff that's tempted me, but I've been good. I've not gone. I've not caved.
Dragonbug says Beyond the War games and Third Doctor stuff interests me. 2 pretty good picks there. I think particularly for Third Doctor this year, Annihilator's definitely the way to go. It's a great story.
Yeah.
And you get your Second Doctor fix in that one too, so best of both worlds.
It's a 2 for 1, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Joe Boas. Thank you for joining us.
Hello. Thank you.
Yes, Beyond War Games is Stylish One's favourite set, by the way, Dragonbugs. Well, not favourite set, I don't think, but the first story, Final Beginning, is his favourite Big Finish, isn't it, Stylish One? Unless something's knocked that off its top spot recently.
Yeah.
Joe Boas, I've been listening to some Five and Nissa stories lately, as they're my favourite Fifth Doctor TARDIS group, and I hope they do more stories with them soon. Yeah, I suppose with Switch to box sets, maybe I think they're just grabbing everyone they can while they can. So if they've got Janet Fielding available as well, you might as well get him in her in studio along with Sarah and Peter.
Yeah, but there's some good stuff with Five and Nissa.
When was the last time we got one with them, to be fair?
A part of me wants to say Dalek Soul, Alien Heart.
Yeah, 2016, wasn't it?
Was that 2016 or 17?
Might have been 17.
I think it probably was 16, maybe.
Yeah, I'll have a quick
I don't
look.
know. It's either 16 or 17.
Here we go. It's 17, April 17. So there we go. It's been nearly 6 years since we last had a. Well, assuming that is the last one and we've not forgotten one.
Yeah.
I feel like there could be one tucked away in a box set somewhere. But I don't know. Yeah. They feel like the duo that you would have had in a Classic Doctor's New Monsters set, but not as yet. I mean, no Fifth Doctor in either of the recent Classic Doctor's New Monsters sets. Well, I say recent, one of them's not out till October, but the next wave of them, I guess.
I guess speaking of Fifth Doctor Nissa, Stylish One. Oh, you finally won me over. I'm a Fifth Doctor fan now after listening to Eternal Summer, Diary of a Song Series 3. It's great. Now I'm experiencing the best of the Fifth Doctor. I would say the Stockbridge trilogy, some real good Fifth Doctor and Nissa content. Real good stuff. But yeah, glad we've converted another person into the Davo tribe.
Yeah, Big Davo.
Big Davo. We love Big Davo here.
He's that special.
He is.
Oh, did you see even David went to where his son Ty was doing a convention for House of the Dragon held up there. He's not that special side behind him.
Yeah, and it was pulled up on the news today about it. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's good. It's good. What a family.
Yeah. Evening, Mr. Moncactus. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, thank you for everyone for joining us. We're getting quite a few in here. I suppose we've been gone a while, so if people want to check in, make sure we're still alive.
I mean, people might be sick of us by the end of the month in December because, by the way, this is part of the reason why we wanted to do a stream as well. Tomorrow, December 1st, 7 o'clock, we begin the Regeneration Marathon, where we marathon every Regeneration, post-Regeneration story right up until Power of the Doctor. So it's a big project. We're very proud of it. We hope that you can sit down and enjoy it with us. But yeah.
I mean, it's part of the reason we've not been streaming quite as much recently, because it's been like, if we have a free evening at the same time, we might as well get another 1 or 2 in the can and get it done. I mean, at the current point, we've just done the Christmas invasion, haven't we?
So that's day 17.
Yeah, so we've got 7 more to go. We're doing End of Time. After this is the plan.
Yeah.
And then, just 6 more to go after that. Yeah,
it'll be sad when it's over.
Yeah,
it needs to be over.
I don't know. It's funny thinking it's not quite over for us yet, but it's not even started for all of you tuning in now.
Yeah, there's panic going, oh, you've got to edit all these, But yeah, it's okay.
How far are you with the editing now?
I am up to the Twin Dilemma, so we're on day 11.
Ah,
or
nearly
day 10.
halfway there.
Yeah, we're nearly there. So we've got a few days before I'm like panic stations.
Yeah.
So
You've also got the leeway of we haven't recorded some yet, so you're more than halfway with what we've got in the can at least.
yeah, which is good because I like edited about 5 on Sunday. Yeah. Once I got Planet of the Spiders out of the way, it was fine because like Planet of the Spiders is quite a chunky one. War Games is like 80 minutes, so that's like the biggest one so far. Then it's Spearhead, and then it's Planet of Spiders. Then the rest are about 57 minutes.
With World Enough and Time, Dr. Falls, and Twice Upon a Time, because we're doing those all together, I feel like that's going to be another chunky one because that's about 2 hours and 3/4 worth of stuff to watch and then discuss.
Yeah.
I think that's about right.
That's probably like the last big one.
Yeah.
And then maybe a tier list after because we've toyed with that.
Yeah, I think that might be a live, maybe, mightn't it? We'll see.
We could do it live, or we could just do it pre-recorded. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see how we'll get through the through to Power of the Dogs first, and then we'll decide, take a breath, and then decide our next steps. See how well it all goes down.
Yeah, hopefully you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, 7 o'clock tomorrow. Be there.
Yeah, for some 10th Planet goodness.
And then it's 7 o'clock after that every day, isn't it? For 24 days.
Pretty much, yeah, 24 days. So you might be fed up with us, but hey, it's cool.
Yeah, and there'll probably be some other streams thrown in there once in a while as well.
Yeah. We'll probably do like a little Christmas one as well.
Yeah, nice little Christmas one. And then into the new year, we'll have a 2022 tier list at Big Finish, getting all of the releases on there like we did in 2021.
That'll be a fun one to do.
Yeah. Stylish one says, next up for my Fifth Doctor listening is Equilibrium and the Elite. I think my problem before was that I didn't like 5 since I hadn't experienced his best material, similar to you two with Seventh Doctor. No. Yeah, I think I've not heard the Elite. That's a lost story, isn't it?
The Elite's great.
Yeah.
I recommend the Elite.
Equilibrium, I remember loving that one. That's
I wasn't
one of
looking
those
forward to that one.
It is one of those ones like in the middle of the trilogy that you're sort of not that hyped for, and then ends up surprising you.
And then I want Entry Plague.
Yeah. When it came to the Fifth Doctor monthly range trilogies, it tended to be the one you were least looking forward to that surprised you the most.
Yeah.
I found. But shall we dive into the news? Well, and releases. We're sort of just going to go through the month from start to finish, aren't we?
Yeah. Stephen Wright, what are your thoughts on the future box that's coming out for the 60th? We will cover that in the news, so we will be with you doing that. So do you want to share the news in case my laptop decides to die?
Yeah, we'll do that. I'm just gonna mute and blow my nose first because it's that time of year. Not feeling the best. You can probably hear it in my voice actually that I am getting very nasally. So I just clear the airways before we dive in.
Mr. Bon Cactus, wait, ranking or watching? They are podcast reviews, whatever, for the Regeneration story. So they're already pre-recorded. So they're technically, I guess they're neither ranking or watching. They're more reviews. So yeah, it's cool.
Okay, let's get this screen share going. That is. There we go. And I think you have to approve it, don't you?
Yeah, there we go. Stream. There we go.
There we are. So, well, I suppose the first day of the month was the 30 days in November, wasn't it? Or Whovember, as they've called it.
So have a look. There's been a few things that have tempted me.
I feel like the that Companion Chronicles trilogy, they always do that, don't they? So like early in these kind of ones. Is this the first November they've done? Do they usually do it in December or something?
But you normally get like the 12 days of Big Finish, don't you?
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, that's like a common thing to put on sale there. Tartarus, that was a odd choice, but certainly one worth picking up.
Yeah, I'd recommend Tartarus on that list. I was tempted by Jagon Light for Series 13 just to get the download.
Oh, did you only get the physical for that?
Yeah.
I see. Weren't tempted by any 10th Doctor Chronicles.
That did tempt me, actually.
Oh.
But then I was like, I have actual David Tennant at home. I don't need any more. You know?
Mum, can we have David Tennant? No, we have David Tennant at home. And David Tennant at home is Jacob Dudman.
Literally, yeah.
That feels me. He does a good job from what I've heard.
Yeah. I've enjoyed the other Chronicle sets. Not the Ninth Doctor. I don't have that. So just to clarify.
Oh, Missy Series 1.
Again, never tempted, but you know.
Yeah. I swear War Master Heart of Darkness was on sale at the same time as the whole War Master range was like in the weekly sale. So you could either pick it up here for 20 quid or as part of the main sale for 19.99 and save yourself 1p.
Every penny counts, you know.
And then Gallifrey War Room. I suppose when it gets towards the end, there's only so many.
A bit of a con.
Yeah, because they've sort of trapped themselves to the whole. It has to be the same price as the day of the month. So, I mean, First Doctor, Volume 5 for 26 quid. Not bad, but you could probably wait for it to go on sale with the rest of the range at some point and get cheaper. And then if you are into your vinyls and you're tempted by Ravagers, I'd say it's worth it for 30 quid. Because they're probably running a bit low now, I imagine.
I reckon so. And it's the first one. So
yeah, I think that's going to be the first vinyl to go out of stock, isn't it? Of the new batch.
I don't know. I feel like Old Friends could, or Lost Warrior.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, for the Cybermen. Yeah, that's true. Actually, I mean, we were sort of predicting that would all go ages ago, didn't we? Like before it even came out, perhaps, because we were rushing to pre-order them just in case. But a year on, and they're still here.
It's weird. Like some releases can hang around, others don't. Like Masterful, that sold out pretty quick.
Yeah.
10th Doctor Adventures Volume 1, that sold out really quick.
But I think Volume 2 and 3 are still there.
Yeah, they've stuck around. Yeah.
I think. Yeah, it seems Big Finish struggles sometimes with estimating demand, don't they? Legacy of Time, that's another one I think that was on sale as well, wasn't it?
The standard edition was. The limited's way gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, for limited,
here it is. Yeah.
Awkward.
Oh no, it's the limited.
Oh, I think it's just for download.
Yeah. Oh, this is just gonna get. This would have probably been the better way to go about it, actually, because then you can see the There you go. Yeah, there it is.
See what Luke has in his account. Yeah. That's not bad. It's worth it for the Joe story.
Oh, let's. Here we are. Shall we talk about what lies inside?
Yes, please.
8th Doctor release. Yeah. I mean, I loved it. Well, certainly the first story I really loved, and the second story I quite liked.
I can agree with that.
And the Dolby Spook. I mean, it's such a refreshing start for the 8th Doctor, isn't it? Because
I think that's the best way you can describe it. Refreshing.
Yeah. After so long with these big 4-box set, 4-episode arcs.
10 years.
Yeah, 10 years since Dark Eyes, isn't it? Dark Eyes 1. Wow. Yeah, and I mean,
these massive, big of change.
Yeah, it's just nice after all that to have what every other Doctor really gets for the 8th Doctor, Liv and Helen now, as they just go for some fun standard adventures, really. And I mean, I say standard. There's nothing standard about Paradox of the Daleks, because it is
No.
quite a mind-bending story, but I think it's written and
Mhm.
told in such a way that it is quite easy to follow, I would say. It's like it must have been a pain in the ass to write, and I think John Dorney has
It
discussed
feels like
about
Shadow of
how
the Daleks done better.
and in some ways Eve of the Daleks as well. I think I remember pointing out to you that it's, one location
Yeah,
really.
but I
It's
think this
quite
has more
hemmed in.
fun.
2 guest cast. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely had more fun with Paradox than Eve. 1 Doctor, 2 companions as well. Yeah, it's like all the same
Yeah,
elements,
I'd
but
have to agree.
and a time travel twist in there. But this time it's a twist that really works well, and it's very impressive how it all slots into place, I would say. You're sort of in awe, listening, seeing all the jigsaw puzzles be put together. And I think it doesn't necessarily hold your hands, but
No.
it's not showing off either. It's not being like, oh, look at me, I'm so clever with these time travel twists. It's very much letting you feel like it's earning those twists as it goes through, while also just having a lot of fun. There's some great dialogue in there, some wonderful lines from Daleks as well.
Well, lad.
a few laugh out loud moments throughout.
Yeah.
And then, what did you think of the Dolby Spook by Lauren Mooney and Stuart Pringle?
I like the atmosphere. I like the vibe of it. I just think it felt very Fourth Doctor adventure-y to me.
I could see that.
It felt like it felt very sort of Series 3, Series 4, Fourth Doctor Big Finish. I had a lot of fun with it, really. It felt a bit like The Haunting of Malkin Place as well. With like the
Yeah, I
setup
could see
of
that.
it.
I suppose you've sort of got in both. There's a skeptic character, isn't there? Someone who's there to
Yeah.
like disprove. You got Harry Price, and I can't remember. He was in Paternoster Gang as well, and has his own series, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look up who he was now. Where's Pat? Karnacki. I remember it just before
yeah. There we go. Yeah.
Thomas Karnacki. There he is.
Yeah, I've got you.
Yeah. Yes, it's certainly along similar lines. Yeah, I can see the comparison there. I think it's a very good story for Helen as well, as she's
I
put
feel
in this
like
place where she's
this is what
feeling.
these next 2 sets do.
Yeah, I suppose Helen's compared to Liv, I think Helen has gone under the radar a bit more, had a bit less attention in the bigger arcs and stuff. So I
She
think
had
it's
moments
good
in
that
Stranded with like Robin.
yeah. I mean, you do have the in the next box set with her brother, Albie, that's sort of building off what Roy Gill started in Stranded actually, and Unit 18. So yeah, that's something to look forward to. But yeah, certainly if you're into the 8th Doctor or want to get into the 8th Doctor but don't know quite where to start, this is a solid place to dive in, really. You don't need to know anything about Liv or Helen necessarily. And yeah, I think it's a solid start. After all those box sets, this is now a nice place for people to dive in and not have to worry about committing to another 3 or 4, whatever, sets afterwards to get the full story.
I mean, you might want to get 2 sets because the covers link.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? As soon as the stories become disconnected, the covers now link up.
Yeah, but really good box set. One of my favourites of the year, I'd say.
Yeah, I'd say so. I think maybe my 2nd or 3rd favourite of the relaunch.
Yeah, I mean, Paradox of the Daleks, I wouldn't say it's palindrome level of, this is good. But it's
both John Dorney, aren't they?
Yeah, both John Dorney. But yeah, Paradox of the Daleks, real highlight.
I think I prefer this to palindrome, to be honest.
Oh, I think I'm a palindrome guy.
No, I think it's just because I have more fun with this one, I suppose. Whereas palindrome isn't necessarily made for that; it is made to be a bit more hard hitting.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll have to go back to that now that we've got Time War 5 on horizon, which we'll speak about shortly.
Yeah.
But first, what's up next news-wise? I mean, Thunderbirds.
Yeah.
That was announced and then came out later this month.
Yeah.
But yeah, after this was Sullivan and Cross AWOL.
Mm-hmm.
Another two-part Dalek story. This time it's a shorter one, Scream of the Daleks. But first, what did you make of London Orbital? Another John Dorney one.
I think I probably enjoyed this more than you.
Hmm.
The one thing what I love about this set is I love how it utilizes folklore to its advantage.
Yeah, it's sprinkled throughout both, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think I said this to you. This box set should have really come out in October.
Oh, it 100% should have. Scream of the Daleks, particularly, is very much a Halloween special. Like the whole,
Yeah,
it's not just set on Halloween. The whole plot is built around that date throughout history, and
yeah, the pagan
exploring,
festival of it.
yeah, exploring how the tradition has changed over the years. Yeah, it's wonderful stuff. But yeah, London Orbital.
Because I'd watched The Rings of Power recently, so I've been sort of in like a elfy mood in a way. So it was nice to sort of have that sort of world sort of cross it, and I think that it worked quite well. I think that it had sort of a Game of Thronesy feel more than the Rybos Inheritance had, with
Yeah,
sort of the clashing of the dark elves and good elves.
it sort of tries to do it in a battlefield way, though, doesn't it? Where it's almost this other
Yes,
dimension, this war from another dimension encroaching on ours. But it does it
I
in a
think
bit
that's what
more
I
of a
like
mind.
about it.
Yeah, does it in a bit more of a mind bendy way, doesn't it? Because you'll have these fights going out on open in the streets, but no one quite notices that it's going on.
Hmm.
Which
And I
is
think it was such a bold move. Episode 1, it is just Naomi and Harry's story.
yeah.
Um,
I think it's sort of rather typical for the Seventh Doctor stories, isn't it? Particularly later in his life to have these ones where he is hanging around in the background, pulling the strings, and it's more told from the companion's perspective.
yeah.
Although here you have the advantage with Harry in particular, someone we know from the classic series, it gives it a different spin on it because he's not used to the way this Doctor operates. And also, I think in some ways, he's just a bit more endearing and likable than maybe some other characters that we get paired up with the Seventh Doctor in that way.
Yeah, there's more of an innocence to Harry, like naivety.
Yeah, I expect it's because he's not the New Adventures style, is he?
Yeah.
And so it's good having this era of Seventh Doctor without that darker young adult shadow looming over it.
But I have to say, I fell in love with McCoy's Doctor again listening to this box set.
Particularly Scream of the Daleks, he's got some wonderful lines in there. Like after
McCoy
first
gets the Daleks.
evil bins.
Yeah, it's
It's
great.
yeah, it feels very new series, his just guttural reaction to it. But and I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean it is great to have a Doctor have that sort of gut wrenching reaction upon seeing the Daleks. The fact that he always runs into them sooner or later, and just the tiredness of it.
But then you have like that moment of the Seventh Doctor, then you have the clown coming out that he stole a tandem with somebody's wife on. And you're like, that's just great. And again, it's a bit like Paradox of the Daleks in a way, how it links to the start with the Doctor's involvement within the story.
Yeah, I think a bit more basic in terms of time travel, but
Yeah,
not that I'm complaining that way. I think it's just two very different ways of including time travel in the story.
because there'll be a moment where you'll smile going, oh, that's a nice little throwback to something. And then you'll get it and you're like, oh, that's really neat.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? What do you make of these three as a trio now?
I like them.
I
I can't say I know Naomi as a character.
Yeah, it's still a bit hard. At least with Harry, we obviously have the classic series to go off. Whereas Naomi, we haven't had her introduction story yet with the Fourth Doctor.
But
So
we've
it's
got bits of of that jigsaw now. I feel like that's more clearer than what they've done with them in Nemesis.
yeah, I think she's much more of a. It's easier to grab onto her as a companion when she actually has a doctor to be a companion to.
Yeah,
Whereas
unit's an
in
ensemble
yeah,
piece, isn't it?
you're just sort of left to pick up as best you can with her, really. Yeah, I mean, Scream of the Daleks thing is particularly nice having her McCoy paired off while Harry gets stuck with these two. What's, are they teens? Are they young adults? I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I'd say. Yeah, brother and sister, aren't they?
Yeah, where he's stuck with them, gets to do a little Beatles routine at one point, so that's quite fun. It does. It very much suits Harry very well. That stuff, doesn't it? And
Well, it's more his time, isn't it? It's the 60s.
yeah,
Was it? Yeah.
But even then, he still feels like a bit out of his depth with 70s and even 60s pop culture. I'd say
Yeah.
he was old fashioned even during his actual time. But still, he has that innocence to him. He's not old fashioned in a well, you should be in the kitchen sort of way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like certainly, him and Naomi get on very well. There's a wonderful line at the start of Scream of the Daleks where they first get back in the TARDIS. Doctor asks, "Where would you like to go?" And Harry's just like, "Oh, can we go to the seaside? I rather fancy fish and chips." And Naomi sort of takes the mick out of him a bit for that, but in a
He's
playful way. They get on well. Oh, you're cutting in and out a bit there.
a man with simple taste.
Yeah, very much so. Well, just having a check through the chat, see what other people have been saying. Sargent says favorite favorite Dalek story for every Doctor, including both TV and Big Finish. Oh, that is a big ask. We have to come back to that one. Dragonbug says it feels really weird seeing Eighth Doctor in standalone box sets instead of like 4-part box set stories. Yeah, I suppose it does a bit after this long, but I think it's a nice change. It was a needed change as well.
Yeah.
It wasn't a tired format yet, but it's always best to quit while you're ahead, isn't it, with stuff like that?
Yeah, it's weird. Like McGann sort of shifted away from it, and Colin's gone the opposite.
Yeah, Colin's now got into it really.
Yeah.
And it's funny because it seemed like the whole idea of the relaunch was to get away from that style, but no, Colin's gone full into it.
Which I like because it's good for long-term listeners to be invested. I think that's why I like that. But then again, I like to know when it ends.
Yeah, that's the thing with the Sixth Doctor. It could be the next box set. It could be 2 box sets down the line. It could be 10.
Yeah, we just don't know.
And I think also the Sixth Doctor, we want to know when other things are going to be continued and wrapped up. We've still got the older Perry stuff out there. We've still got Flip and Constance to go. Although I think that's sort of dependent on Lisa Greenwood at the moment, isn't it? Because she's still in recovery from long COVID.
Yeah, bless her.
Yeah, so far so good for the Doctor release this month, though. 7th Doctor and 8th Doctor are doing well. I'd say,
much.
yeah, of the 4 stories, my favourite would be Paradox of the Daleks, and my least favourite would be London Orbital. How would you rank? And
I'd agree. Paradox.
Mm.
Then I'd probably go Scream of the Daleks.
Oh, what is the bottom one?
Yeah.
I'd put that second to top, really. I'd then say They'll Be Spooked just below that.
I mean, Scream of the Daleks is worth it just for the knock knock moment.
Oh, it's another story of great Dalek lines, included in very different ways.
Yeah. So I think that's what Paradox of the Daleks, and I think either the Daleks did as well. The Daleks aren't funny. It's just putting them in situations because they just play it straight.
Yeah, the Daleks aren't trying to be funny, but in the context of us listening, there are some funny lines there. I know Paradox in particularly finds a way to make it work very well, and a way that feels very Doctor Who. It's a callback right to the Daleks itself. But yeah, Torchwood Ghost Story for Christmas. I mean, I think did we have this revealed before, or was it just the cover that was revealed this time?
I think it was just a cover. I think we knew that it was a Victoria.
Yeah. What do you make of the cover?
Very good.
It looks like it's got Anakin Skywalker there just after he's been burned on Mustafar.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it. I mean, I am definitely going to look forward to picking it up because I've enjoyed the Christmas Victoria ghost stories.
Yeah, Crown, didn't we?
Now, haven't they? Really?
Yeah. And what was it? Last year we had the Grey Mare with Yanto.
Yeah.
It feels right having this sort of spooky style for Christmas, doesn't it? And certainly the Victoriana setting suits Christmas very nicely. So I think we'll both be picking this one up. We're probably talking about it as well, won't we?
Yeah, I'm sure we'll cover it on some stream.
I mean, we've been picking up a bit more Torchwood this year, haven't we?
We have actually. So
do some.
Yeah. I wonder why.
All right, even more Torchwood to talk about a little bit later. But first, Scott Hancock's left Big Finish and gone to Bad Wolf as the new script editor for Series 14, which is a well-earned position.
Yeah, good on him. Congratulations, Scott. Know you listen. I feel like this was on the cards for a long time.
I think as soon as Russell came back, we knew he'd be poaching some Big Finish talent, didn't we? Because he did the same thing back in 2005 when he started. He got Rob Shearman to write Dalek.
Barry Russell was script editor, I think, as well, wasn't
he? Yeah, and certainly got quite a few people from the Virgin New Adventures as well, didn't he? The novel writers, Paul Cornell. I think did Paul write any Big Finish as well?
Yeah, he did a couple of co-written ones.
I mean, Joe Lidster, he got to do some Sarah Jane Adventures.
Yeah.
Was he script editor on that as well?
I think he was at some point.
Yeah, certainly Russell looks to the expanded media as well as other writers to bring into Doctor Who, or he did back in 2005, but now it's nice to see him doing the same again with new talent. And I think it's a wonderful story with Scott, isn't it? Him starting as a runner back on Confidential in 2005 and to now have worked his way up to being busy mates with Derek Jacobi until now he's script editing the new series with Doctor Who about to enter new heights, most likely.
And we've praised Scott Hancock's stuff, like his work with the Fifth Doctor and Mark, to the War Master range. Like, there's a wonderful energy and freshness to Scott Hancock's stuff.
It's a stamp of quality, isn't it? When you get a release with Scott Hancock involved.
And I feel like, I don't mean this in a negative way to any other ranges, but there's a modernness to his stuff.
Yeah, I can see that. And certainly he tends to get the more adult ranges as well, doesn't he? Like War Master, even though it is all ages, I say in quotation marks, it's not got the content warning that Torchwood does. It certainly pushes it a lot more into the adult range.
It teeters on the line.
Yeah.
Of what it can and can't do.
And I mean, he also did Dark Season, didn't he?
Yeah.
Have we got? Has that been announced? That's coming up. I thought we might have skipped past that.
No.
Shilling and Sixpence. Did you pick up Series 2?
No, I've got a Series 1. I'm probably going to start listening to that at some point in December because I feel like it'd be a great one to listen to by the Christmas tree.
Yeah, I see that.
Get the hot chocolate, happy days. And I love David Warner, so I probably am going to get Series 2 just to complete it.
Yeah. Fitting way to say goodbye to him. Well, I think we've still got at least one other release recorded that they've not unveiled yet.
Yeah, which is one of the, I wouldn't say like worst kept secrets, but yeah, it's a bit like season 20 of Doctor Who.
Yeah,
We know it's happening.
Certainly, Christopher Eccleston isn't that great at keeping these secrets. He doesn't particularly. I don't want to say he doesn't care in that sense because he's not spoiling any story details.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I mean, he spoiled the whole Cyberman twist in what is the fact that the Cybermen were going to be in the finale.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, because he spoke about how he's working with a Cyberman who's like a woman who's been partially converted, and that's certainly not what the plot of Lost Warriors ended up being, but it is what the finale
I
did.
don't remember that. I must have not heard that.
Yeah, it was. I think it was like a Radio Times interview or something as well. I'm not.
I don't go.
Yeah,
I don't
certainly
go
was
in anymore.
Yeah. So it was like some interview he did with another place where they were asking about him working with the Cyberman. He was like, "Oh yeah, we got this Cyberman who's a woman who's been converted." But Cass is back. Eighth Doctor Time War continues. I mean, we sort of got pieces of this news, haven't we, throughout the month? 11th it was announced. We then got the cover a bit later, so I might as well just skip to that now, really.
Yeah, might as well.
And we got trailer today. I think I'd have not actually put it anywhere.
There's the cover.
There we go. Here it is.
Nice cover.
Yeah,
I like the cover.
Rafe Wallbank, isn't it? He's the regular for 8th Doctor covers at this point. But yeah, it's pretty nice stuff. Shall we talk about the logo now as well? I mean, this isn't the first release.
You can do.
Yeah, because we also got it on. Where is it? 4th Doctor New Frontiers. This was one they updated, and they've been making their way through updating different covers for 2023 that we've already revealed and sticking a new logo on there. How do you think it works with these covers?
I think it works wonderfully with the 4th Doctor. I think it's the best on the Tom stuff because it's very much his logo.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing it on some 3rd Doctor and Sarah stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited to get that cover for sure. But yeah, I think that's the best on it.
Yeah, I think it does seem sort of weird not having the range title now. Like, it is just New Frontiers. It's not the 4th Doctor Adventures New Frontiers.
But I guess you can get that with Tom Baker on a cover. I think Big Finish is a niche enough thing. You know what Doctor it is.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it really, isn't it? You don't necessarily need to be told something like that.
Big Finish isn't for Joe Public. It's for us little Anaraki fans.
Yeah. I suppose with the previous logo as well, it was a lot more spindly, wasn't it? It was much thinner. And so I think maybe they needed to put more on covers just to fill it out. Whereas now you've got a logo that stands out quite a lot by itself. You don't necessarily need another flashy logo at the bottom distracting from it. So it is just the basic text of the title of the box set, and that's all you really need at this point.
Yeah. But it's classy.
I think it takes a little bit of getting used to. I think maybe just because with 4th Doctor, with this cover, we've already seen it with the old logo.
Oh no, I was really hoping we'd get this logo on it, so I'm happy.
Oh, I was hoping. Yeah, I was hoping that too. But I think because we'd already seen the previous logo, it throws you a bit because you know what it looked like before.
See, I've just imagined it with this logo ever since it was announced. Like I've not had that big shock change.
Yeah. Whereas something like this, where we get it announced with the logo, for me, that doesn't.
R.I.P. 8th Doctor Time War having like 3 different logos.
Yeah. I mean, it's also now a thinner box, isn't it?
Yeah, it will be.
That's gonna throw it off even more. Have you seen the they updated the class cover as well?
Yeah, that's got the
Have they done? Oh, they haven't done Friend of the Family yet, but yeah, they have got the
That's cool.
the light. Yeah, I think that. I imagine that's what we'll be getting on the spines.
Yeah.
Which I think it'll work. Because I mean,
Yeah.
I remember someone out on Twitter mentioned that the problem with the current logo is it doesn't jump out at you enough. The previous logo, sorry,
Yeah.
the Jodie one. When you're far away from it, you don't recognise it as the Doctor Who logo because of how thin it is.
hmm
Whereas this logo, I think it should scream Doctor Who a bit more now.
I get with this logo in particular, the one going across, it feels very sort of Doctor Who magazine comic strip.
Yeah.
It feels very comic book.
Yeah. I think it's nice having the stacked version for the main covers, though.
Mm.
I swear Diary of River Song. Yeah, that's got a bit darker, hasn't it? Or am I going mad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saturation's different.
Yeah, they've changed it to black at the bottom there. But they didn't update the... So they've updated it, but they also haven't. Oh, yeah,
That'd be a tweet.
Yeah, they've got rid of by Tim Foley there.
Odd.
I'm a bit confused there. It's funny the things you notice when you have a look for it. That could have been like that for ages, but
Yeah.
So maybe this one won't get the new logo. I don't know.
Maybe it's the last release to have the logo.
Yeah, which feels odd,
Mm.
given that you're in what's 2023 now. But yeah, Dead Star also got updated. That doesn't look too bad.
I prefer the Whittaker logo on it.
I think it looks a bit weird how down the sides here these get cut off a bit. I think you could have gone down a bit further with those. Yeah. But anyway, I suppose should we talk about story details now for Cass? What do you think of them bringing Cass back? Because I mean, we've reviewed Night of the Doctor as part of the Regeneration Advent Calendar.
Yeah,
and that was I think just before this news came out, wasn't it? That we recorded that
I think
one
the night before or something.
Yeah,
like
might have been. So yeah, we didn't really we spoke about Cass a little bit there, but we didn't actually get to speak about her returning. So this is my first time hearing your thoughts on her being back. Go for
it. It's a time war. Anything's possible. I think that there's a great sandbox we played in. Let's play in it.
Yeah, because hopefully they do go a bit more crazy with Time War stuff now that they can.
There's no Bliss.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I can't say I was ever that taken with Bliss, so I'm not too upset by her absence. I think maybe it's partially due to Raki Thakra being taking off with her career, that she's not really available to do much Big Finish now. She's not in the recent Star Cops box set either.
It's interesting how they've probably been hinting at Cass coming back with this year we've had The War Doctor Begins, where we've had the same actress play the War Doctor's companion.
Yeah.
So it feels like they've been edging closer to going, oh yeah, Cass is here.
In a way, that makes it always feel weirder for me, because it's like you've already gone halfway there, and now you've decided to go the full way. It's a common Big Finish thing, isn't it? Of they'll start something, and then they'll do it again in a different way.
I think it'd be more impactful with the War Doctor.
Yeah, having it here. I think for me, Cass is one of those odd things where I've never really got the rage that goes behind. Like, a lot of people really love Cass, and it's just like, I don't really get the love for her. It has only been like 3 minutes of screen time. I think it is just because she was on screen with McGann that people are suddenly taken with her, and it's the fact that she is the almost companion if times were different.
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of the tragedy of Cass. That was the point of her, was that she was meant to be the almost companion if it wasn't for the Time War, but now she gets to be a companion anyway somehow. But at the same time, I can't really say I'm not upset by it either, because I don't care about cast that much either way. So
I mean, I pre-ordered it straight away because I was like, McGann, because this was announced pretty soon after Paradox of the Daleks coming out. So I was like, really, and obviously Power of the Doctor as well. I was like, oh, McGann, great. So yeah, I'm excited for it, because I really enjoyed Time War 4. It's good to see it finally continue, and we did predict we'd get a Time War 8 release in January. We might not have said in stream, but we have said that we'd get something with McGann in January.
It seems to be the tradition now, doesn't it? Because we had last year 8 and Charlie, didn't we? That box set.
Yeah.
But yeah, some different writers as well coming into the 8th Doctor Time War, which is nice to see. And I mean, hopefully, it feels like it could be a fresh start for the range, which I think is what it needs.
Tim Foley.
Yeah, always write solid stuff.
Favorite writer at Big Finish at the minute.
James Moran is sort of a not quite a new writer, but not a prolific Big Finish writer either.
Yeah, because
the selection you've got there.
I mean, he wrote Fires Upon Pay, didn't he?
Yeah.
So he's a writer of good ilk.
Yeah, it gets a 2-parter here to play with in the Time War, so should be good. Yeah, let's go back to the news page now. Let's see what we've yet to discuss. We didn't gift cards. They're doing gift cards now.
Yeah.
So if you want on your Christmas list.
So if you want to buy us something for showing support of the channel, get us a Big Finish gift card. We appreciate it. We can review a story of your choice, and it will cost nothing for us.
That's better than tips, isn't it? YouTube don't get anything if you just stick a gift card code in the chat, and we have to get it before someone else comes.
Yeah, there we go.
Let's have a look in the chat because I'm sure some people had opinions on the new logo. Starge One says 8th Doctor Time War is easily the most inconsistent Big Finish box set range now. I very much think so. They've even. It's funny, they went to all the trouble of changing the Time War logo on previous online covers, only to drop it for the 5th one. Drop the logo entirely.
Martin King, down bad at the moment, needed this. Well, we're glad that we can help you out and give you some entertainment for however long we do this stream for. So thanks for joining.
Thank you for tuning in and choosing us in your hour of need, I suppose.
Yeah, we're here. We're here to talk Doctor Who and make the world right for a little bit.
Distract you a bit with our dumb opinions. Our hot takes.
Our hot takes.
Sarge One says the new logo has some growing pains in terms of covers, but the Jodie logo also had a lot of growing pains with the crystals, the sidebars at the top and bottom, and the stretched out artwork. Yeah, I feel like this has got off to a better start than the Jodie logo did. And I suppose also it's that we were expecting this time. When the Jodie logo came along, that hadn't happened before with Big Finish. They'd never gone for the same logo as the current series, had they?
No. We've always had like the Heritage logo, well, the McGann logo.
Or a variation of,
Yeah.
Whereas this time, as soon as the new Doctor Who logo was announced, we were expecting Big Finish would get on the cover sooner or later, so it isn't quite as much of a shock. So it's easier for us to adjust to it because we already had that prep time. It was just sort of waiting and seeing how it's going to be incorporated, and I think going for the stacked version works quite well. Dragon Bug says, I really do love the new logo. I didn't like the Jodie one at first, but it grew on me a bit. Yeah, I think what worked very well to Jodie one, especially when it got in the white version, was that it just suited any cover really nicely.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it didn't really have much distinctive in itself. Doctor Who TV says, really love that new logo and Strictly Come Dancing Quarter Mile on Friday. Sorry, I'm sort of struggling to read that there. Doctor Who TV, not a resuit show on Saturday, and then semi-final on Sunday. No,
Enjoy Strictly.
enjoy.
Enjoy it.
Torchwood says, in my opinion, I treat 8 meeting cast like 5 in RMM. I don't mind what it does to their arcs so long as the stories are good enough, not better than what they're messing with. Yeah, that's true, isn't it? As long as you're getting some good stories to play within this sandbox, it
Yeah.
doesn't quite matter. I mean, John Dorney came out on Twitter to say, I don't think Big Finish is canon anyway, as much as canon exists. I believe
He's like one of the main writers, yeah.
Yeah. Because I know that got brought up on the podcast, and Nick Briggs was like, "We're gonna have to have some words with him now." But yeah,
To be honest, canon's your own individual thing. It's subjective.
yeah,
You probably think things are canon compared to what I do. Like that's the beauty of it, you know.
I've been re-listening to Return of the Cybermen recently, which is definitely not in quotation marks canon because you've got revenge, but I still love it. It's a really good story, and I think Doctor Who is such a massive sandbox at this point now that canon just doesn't really matter. There's loads of contradictions within the show itself. Just if a story's enjoyable enough, then enjoy it. Genesis
I think that's the main takeaway.
Yeah, doesn't line up at all with the lore that was introduced in the original Dalek story, and yet nevertheless that is treated as a huge classic, and rightly so because it's such a good story. But
because I think when you get into Big Finish, you're so. I mean, this is how I was. You're so busy trying to put things into boxes. Where does it fit in the timeline? And I think once you get out of that growing stage, much like when you realise you can't experience every bit of Doctor Who because, heck, life's too short, it becomes more enjoyable. You just focus more on what the story's trying to do. And that's the main reason you're picking it up, not just to plug a gap on a shelf.
Yeah, or not like to plug a gap in your head of where this all goes, I suppose. Yeah, ultimately, if the quality of something, if how you view the quality of something is affected by whether or not it's treated as quote unquote canon, then I think you're not really listening or watching it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
I mean, it ultimately, when it comes to Big Finish, doesn't quite matter right away because the TV show is never going to acknowledge it or even be able to acknowledge it because, license fee wise, you can't have something that's a paid product be essential.
Yeah, it's a paywall, isn't it?
Yeah.
Big Finish is a paywall.
And so, it's just supplementary material, really. And I mean, a lot of it is really good, and that's the most important thing at the end of the day. If a story is good, then that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Joe Bowers says, I'm glad they changed the logo on New Frontiers, as my worry when they first revealed the logo with the Jodie logo, I thought they'd keep it like that and then use the new logo for Volume 2 onwards. Yeah, it's nice that everything next year is going to be the new logo. Like in terms of the relaunch stuff, it's nice that there's going to be that even split on the shelf. But yes, the only worry is Ninth Doctor. What will they do there? Because that's the end of the series. I mean, they're holding out a bit, aren't they? They're not giving us those February covers for a while.
I guess we should get them in December, surely.
Yeah, definitely will.
And hopefully Third Doctor news, please.
Didn't someone point out that the only ever licensed material to be branded canon was the 11th Doctor Adventures games, which were themselves contradicted? Yeah, probably.
There we go. Point proven.
Yeah, there it is. Ultimately, it's just, have fun listening to or watching or reading and just enjoy what it is for what it is, not for its place in this wider, if you could even call it a continuity.
Yeah.
As long as you're not suddenly sticking Adric with the First Doctor for no reason, I think you're doing all right. And then
don't give him them ideas, please.
Yeah. Well, I think
because we will buy it.
John Dorney's exact comment was, "I don't think there's a canon as such, but it's still got to work within continuity."
Yeah.
It was something along those lines, which makes sense. Like these do still fit within TV canon. And I'd say the way when you watch TV Who as well and compare the way the characters are there to how they are in Big Finish, there is a difference there because TV in the 60s, 70s, and 80s was very different to how we see media now, how we see these characters. And so it's, especially when you're doing this many stories with these characters, it's important to expand upon them.
Yeah.
And so I think that's one way that Big Finish has done really well, is that I think it makes you fall in love with characters that you never really considered much of when it comes to the TV era.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, I love the Fifth Doctor, Tegan, Nyssa, and all the other characters that cross over with that. But I don't really stick on their TV stories that often, if at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, Big Finish, I'm always excited to get more of them. And I mean, Peter
Yeah.
Davison in particular, he just feels more and more like the Doctor as he's got older.
Yeah, it's a nice little gruff graveliness to his voice.
Yeah, that's how I imagine the Fifth Doctor's voice now.
Yeah.
It always gives you culture shock when you're watching TV and like, he sounds young.
Very squeaky.
If you're quite finished.
I am now. Moving on.
Yeah. Moving on, Kate Winslet stars in Russell Davis's new audio drama, and he's actually written one of these, which was shocking.
Yeah.
He's written the last story for episode box set, spring, summer, autumn, winter. Tim Foley, Chris Chapman, James Goss as well.
Real good selection of writers.
This was the last thing Scott Hancock produced and directed. Does he direct it as well? So the last thing he was involved in with Big Finish before moving on. Director, producer, and script editor.
Good old Scott.
Yeah. Are you tempted by it?
A little bit of me is.
Oh, really?
The writers are great. I probably at the time I will probably pass on it.
Yeah. I feel like you have to at least watch the original show first, or maybe hear the audiobook, since that's a retelling of the show, isn't it?
I think so.
I feel like this was sort of inevitable after that announcement, because they were teasing as well. We could do a bit more, could carry on that story. It's nice to see that Big Finish is getting to do this. It's the right time to do it as well, with Russell coming back to Doctor Who.
Yeah,
everyone's big on Russell fever at the moment, aren't they? So
yeah.
Quite right too. Yeah, it's nice that it's treating it as if it would be a TV show revival at this time, because it's not just picking up where the show left off. It is going forward to the present day and introducing like a new generation of characters, similar to Star Wars, how that's generational. This is doing that same thing where you've got young characters, and then that crosses over with the older characters as well. Yeah, I mean, I can't say I have any connection to Dark Season. I feel like we weren't quite the right age for that, were we?
I think it was a few years before our time, to be honest.
Yeah, it started what we would know as like,
children's TV.
Yeah. So like that Sarah Jane Adventures, MI High style of TV, I guess, isn't it? It's that genre. What's Demon Headmaster? That was one they recently remade, wasn't it? Or
yeah,
I think it's ended up being a sequel to the original in some way. But yeah, I remember I started watching that, but then just sort of slipped away from it. It wasn't too bad though, what I did see.
Okay. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Kate Winslet ends up in a Doctor Who story.
Yeah, this is now like the bar for Big Finish, isn't it? When it comes to getting actors to work for them.
I think it probably works out cheaper for Big Finish to bulk book actors. So I wouldn't be surprised if we've got Kate Winslet in maybe one of the 60th audios. Maybe she's part of... This is all hypothetical. Maybe she could be a doctor in an audio. Bit of stunt casting, maybe. Because there was that rumour going around, like Easter time, Hugh Grant is the Doctor.
Yeah, I don't know if Big Finish would let them do that though.
I
Sorry,
think
if the BBC would let Big Finish do that. I mean,
Russell would.
maybe.
I think Russell would, because it's going off the little press release of the. I know we're skipping a few weeks here. The 60th audios, but it does tie in with the TV stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get like a little fan cast Doctor.
Yeah. But yeah, I see what you mean about her bulk recording. She could pop up elsewhere, or maybe that now that Big Finish have got her inside, and if she's had a good enough time with it, they could get her back for some other guest role. Maybe say,
Star Cops.
You know, give us some actors that you've always wanted to work with, and maybe we'll let you have a go. So she could turn up in upcoming War Master set, maybe if she's a big Derek Jacobi lover.
Yeah. Or an Eccleston set. I'll take it.
Yeah, there we go.
I'll take that.
I mean, here we go. Unit Nemesis Objective Earth. You've got this one.
Yeah.
I haven't. You've not listened to it.
Yeah.
Neither have I, because I haven't got it.
The trailer was good.
I had to go to a video trailer for this one.
Yeah, nice to see the Volprene.
Yeah. God, that's what. Yeah, let's have a scan through for them. Yeah, they are.
They sort of what I envisioned the what is it, the Unzal to look like.
Oh, really?
Or is it like what are the creatures in it's not what's the is it Prisoners of the Lake?
Yeah, I can't remember.
They're meant to be like wolf creatures.
Oh, they might. Yeah, it's been so long since I did.
Yeah.
Prisoners of the Lake. But yeah, this is quite a cool design now. Hopefully we'll get on the cover for Volume 4.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's weird thinking we've known about these for so long now, like for over a year, and yet we haven't actually known what they look like until now. It feels such an odd omission from the covers.
Yeah.
I mean, especially the previous one is called Agents of the Volprene. They're in the title. But yeah. That's out now. I've still not finished the second one yet, to be honest.
I mean, you're ahead of me.
Yeah,
you're ahead of me.
Big Finish reductions on 100 price reductions. Here we go. I think Stylish One asked about this actually, no, I think Stylish One was asking about the out of print stuff.
Yeah,
which means there may be some crossover for. Like so we have a quick check on that while
we can have a little look at it.
End of line notifications. Here we go. Because I think this was up right at the end of last month, so that can just about be counted in this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any recommendations from these? First Doctor Adventures Volume 4, definitely worth getting for that Dalek story.
Yes, I'd agree for that.
The other story as well is really good. Definitely the best of the First Doctor Adventures, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah, got right up to Fourth Doctor Adventures Series 7. That doesn't feel right.
No, it's still recent. It's not.
War Master, definitely worth picking up.
Anything War Master.
Any of those really. And the robots as well.
That's your baby.
Are you going to have to get these now? Because you got the first one, didn't you?
I do have the first one. It's just gathering dust on the shelf.
Yeah. Will you be able to live yourself if the others go out of print before you buy them? Or will you have to dive in and pick these up?
I probably will pick them up eventually. I can't see them going
too late.
I can't see them going mega rare though.
No. Yeah, I think even if they're gone, they'll be pretty easy to pick up. Fairly cheap on the second-hand market.
Yeah.
Oh, Light at the End's going. You think they'd save that until after the 60th? Because surely there'd be a bit of a resurgence.
Yeah.
I mean, that used to be like, when we were first getting into Big Finish, everyone would say, pick up Light at the End, enjoy that, and then see which Doctors you enjoy and go from there into their own different stuff, isn't it? That was
we all said it. Yeah, that was that was the second Big Finish fans we ever did. So
wow, that is a way back.
That's a throwback.
Lives of Captain Jack. Can't say I'm too surprised that they're going. I think they sort of tried to brush that under the carpet a bit, understandably.
Captain who?
John Hart.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, early adventures as well.
Recommend the early adventures.
Dalek. In fact, that whole series is a pretty good one. Especially this
Yeah.
time of year as well. It's always good for a Hartnell, isn't it? So
Yeah, because it was the time of year they come out as well, so it's good.
yeah, and then Lost Stories, Ultimate Evil, and Nightmare Country. Nightmare Country. If you've not got that one, that's a great one to go for. And you love your David Warner stuff here.
I love my David Warner.
Yeah, that's there we go. That's our recommendations from that. We say recommendations, it's more just us looking through and going, "Oh, wasn't that good? Oh, aren't we old? That was
Yeah.
so long ago now."
Yeah.
Oh, have we got here? Here we are. This is what we were waiting for.
Star Corps.
Yeah, High Frontier. It was a half decent trailer, to be fair.
You listened to the trailer?
I watched a video one.
Oh,
they put out a video one for this. It wasn't too bad, but yeah, it didn't tempt me to pick it up.
What a shill! What a shill you are!
Loving everything Big Finish. But I swear there would have been a time where I would have picked up Star Cops, to be honest, because I did go through that time of picking up different Big Finish like the Omega Factor and such, thinking I don't want to just be Doctor Who. I don't want to be looked down upon by the rest of the community. I want to show that I am an upstanding member of the Big Finish fandom.
No, you just accept it. Doctor Who's just where it's at.
Doctor Who's all I can afford.
Yeah.
But yeah. First Doctor, we finally got some news with our boy
Stephen
Noonan. And
friend of the channel, Stephen Noonan.
Coming out in February, we've got The Demon Song, which is the first story by Bob Ayres. And then Nicholas Briggs is writing a 4-parter, The Introton Incident, which feels like the most Nicholas Briggs story you could get. And I mean, it's
not a bad thing.
I'm looking forward to it. But yeah,
I'm really excited for this set.
Alien conspiracy in a post-war seaside town. I mean, he grew up by the sea. He loves his war stories. He likes his conspiracies. I mean, last February, we got The Annihilators, which was brilliant. This feels sort of in that vein, but with the First Doctor. And so I'm excited. And then The Demon Song looks like a good bit of fun as well.
I am so excited for this.
I feel like The Outlaws was proof of concept. Now we're getting to really have fun with the First Doctor. In stories which feel very different from his era, but also right. And I think that's part of what excites me about the Introton Incident, even though it does feel fairly typical sci-fi. It doesn't feel like the kind of sci-fi that William Hartnell would have got to do. And so I'm excited to hear the First Doctor in that style of story.
Going off the stuff what I've heard, The Miniaturist was everyone's favourite story of the set. And I think that was Stephen Noonan's favourite. And that's the direction they wanted to go, and you're definitely seeing it with this.
It's interesting how both the box sets have 2-part stories set in the present day, like or near enough to our present, because the Demon Song's present day Camden, popular spot for the Doctor at the moment, it seems.
Yeah.
And also with the Miniaturist, that was sort of like 2019 up in Yorkshire, wasn't it? Yeah. And so it's interesting how we haven't quite got a futuristic story yet, although with the Introton Incident, it is a pseudo-historical. Well, to be fair, so was The Outlaws, but that was more... It was closer to pure historical than I think this will be.
Yeah, I think The Outlaws was sort of to sort of break people into going, this is 60s Doctor Who. It was using like familiar elements so people could adjust to Lauren and Stephen as the characters. Because you're putting them in a very traditional story, so it probably makes it less jarring. So if you start with like the Miniaturist, you'd be like, oh, it's not right.
I mean, the actors did though, didn't they? That was the first time recorded.
Yeah, but brilliant. Brilliant stuff all around. Outlaw is still one of my favourite releases of the year.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. I really am. And what is it? So 2 Fridays ago, we got the announcement of, or 3 Fridays ago, sorry, we got the announcement of Time War.
Mhm.
Friday after that, we got the announcement of Demon Song. Friday after that, we got the cover for Time War. Could this Friday we be getting the Demon Song cover based on that?
I hope so.
Trailer. Yeah, it'd be good to see.
Of the stuff that we know so far of next year's Big Finish stuff in terms of details, I have to say it's probably number one.
I agree, actually. Can't wait to put this one on the shelf and have a listen to it. I think particularly the interesting incident, really. That's the main draw of the set for me. But I mean, Demon Song, we don't know quite as much about, maybe because it's more of an unknown writer. I feel like even with Instant, all we know is Alien Conspiracy, Post or Seaside Town. But I think the fact that it's by Nicholas Briggs, we sort of know quite what to expect there. And that's just my style of story, really. Like,
yeah.
I love the Defectors, what that was going for. That sort of had a similar vibe to it. And so I look forward to hearing the first Doctor in this environment, really. I think that's what excites me most. It's a fairly standard sci-fi idea, but with a Doctor who's never really encountered that style of story before. Let's see what else we got to come. New talent behind the scenes. I mean, one of them we've already heard. Definitely, is it Wiemers? Wimmers?
Yeah.
I would have heard it on the
I can't really see it.
behind the scenes as well. I
Yeah.
definitely heard, but yeah, I cannot remember how to pronounce it, I'm afraid. Weimers, I think Weimers. That's how it's.
Okay.
Yeah, directed Seventh Doctor, Sullivan and Cross, and I imagine we'll continue to direct Seventh Doctor.
Yeah, I can
Or maybe
imagine so.
continue to direct the Sullivan and Cross stuff. Georgia as a writer, goes right. The Haunting a Brick Place. I still haven't done that one yet. Yeah, interlude. I still keep forgetting the interludes exist. I imagine we'll be getting more next year.
I think she did the second story in Geronimo, which is good. The Venice story, I think. Enjoyed that one.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and then Ajaz Awad is going behind the microphone now, isn't it, to direct some stories. So yeah, I mean, it's hard to quantify the talent when it comes to directing, isn't it? When it comes to audio work.
There's no sort of short list, is it, compared to with audio drama?
Yeah. I mean, that's not me underselling the role of director, because I think certainly from what you hear on the extras and stuff, there is a lot of work that goes into that. And of course, they've got to bring out a lot in the performances as well and bring it all together. But it's harder to quantify it when listening exactly how much of it is down to the director. I think it's almost like if the director's really good, then you don't notice they're there, I suppose.
Yeah. But they've done a lot of the heavy lifting.
There's one of the unsung heroes of audio drama.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, certainly. It's hard to praise them for exactly what they're doing, because when it's acting, that's the main thing of audio. It's like acting and writing are the main things that you can praise, because you hear the actors and you can tell what the writing is. With directing, it's harder to quantify it, I suppose. But yeah, here we go. We got some more Scott Hancock stuff here, because we got some War Master announcements. The final 3 box sets done by Scott Hancock here. Where are the titles? Here we go. Solitary Confinement, Rogue Encounters, and Future Phantoms, carrying us right into December 2024. So it's funny. It's sort of saying it's coming to an end, but it's a good while yet.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a clickbaity title as well, because this is the end of the War Master Age.
Yeah, but they're like, no, Rob Valentine's taken over, although we won't get to hear anything by him until 2025. Yeah. He's also doing the master, isn't he? The Eric
Yeah,
Roberts stuff.
yeah.
So he seems like the natural choice to take over War Master as well. I wonder if we'll go into 3-part box sets then.
Probably.
I think it'll be interesting to see whether they do change things up with the War Master at all. If there'll be a noticeable difference between Scott Hancock era War Master and Rob Valentine War Master. But yeah, so solitary confinement here. There's no real details yet. I think there's the picture of the trio there
from where it all began.
Where is it recorded? October 2021 and January this year. Yeah, I mean, title-wise, can't really guess too much. It sounds a bit similar to what we've already had with self-defense.
Yeah, I was thinking that. It does sound very similar.
I mean, solitary confinement, could it literally just be Derek Jacobi for 4 hours? Can you imagine?
I mean, I could happily listen to Jacobi read the phone book.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Rogue Encounters next. I think it's this one. Yeah, so this one's also got Alfie Shaw as a script editor. So I imagine Scott Hancock has written one of the episodes in this one.
Probably.
Yeah. Usually that's what happens when you have a different script editor for one. It's because the regular script editor's writing for it. And yeah, this one's normal. Future Phantoms. Yeah, I suppose.
I feel like we're gonna get another master in it. Maybe Sasha.
Yeah, maybe.
That would be really cool.
I mean, yeah, certainly by June 2020. Oh, that's interesting. It's June 2024 now.
Okay.
They've changed. Yeah, where? Yeah, that says December 2024 there. So they've obviously made a mistake there and moved it up, thankfully. That was a bit of a wait.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, that makes more sense, doesn't it? 2 a year at this rate. So we'll probably get the first Robert Valentine one in December 2024. But, I mean, Rogue Encounters, perhaps some different Renegade Time Lords, Rani, Monk, or perhaps some different classic new monsters, maybe. I mean, we've had the Ood. Could we have the Bastion Armada or something?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it's exciting seeing where the War Master could go next. We've got
it's carrying on.
Hopefully tomorrow we'll be getting what's it called?
Escape from Reality.
Yeah. Anyway, let's power through. Ninth Doctor called Hidden Depths. I mean, you're not too far into this box set, are you? You've done the first story.
2 stories. I've done 2.
You did finish the second one then?
Yeah.
What did you think?
Alright. Like, I'll be honest. Me and you, we've had like obviously private chats. I'm kind of just like I'm kind of there with Big Finish at this point.
I feel like Ninth Doctor in particular, yeah. We enjoyed most of Back to Earth, but since then he's been on the back foot a bit, sadly.
It's weird how much hope and optimism we had after Old Friends, because like this is a real great box set, and then you get Station to Station, you're like, oh yeah, we're in for it now, boys. We've got some good stuff, and then it just goes down. Old Lang Syne, yay! And then after that, it's just like whoosh, downhill. I don't know.
Yeah, it felt like, with Series 1, we had a good enough start. And you think, okay, now we can really get into the good stuff with Series 2. They've been able to find their feet a bit more. Now they can really push for some quality stuff. But Series 2 has definitely been a downgrade overall, in my opinion.
I don't know if it's because it's standalone stories as well.
Yeah, I think it's a struggle, isn't it? Where you've got pretty much a new companion of the week each time to get used to.
And I think going forward, it's just not a format that can... It's not a sustainable format, personally.
I think, maybe they do need to go a bit more in the War Master direction, perhaps. Have it be, one long story. Like they did with Ravagers, but maybe less timey-wimey, more like set in one period, see what they can play with there.
Yeah. Because I don't know if I prefer this set so far to Into the Stars. I think Into the Stars I've really soured on as a box set. Like the more I think about it, the more I just feel nothing for it. I feel quite cold, to be honest, and that's not Jack Frost.
No.
Yeah, it's a lot of people praise Into the Stars, but I just feel like I've missed it, to be honest.
I've seen a lot of praise for Hidden Depths as well that I'm not necessarily getting. Yeah, it just feels weird to be this unenthusiastic about Christopher Eccleston at Big Finish. I feel like I should be enjoying this a lot more than I am.
Like, I was excited because it's the Ninth Doctor and Sea Devils, and I'm just learning that I should just not get excited about Sea Devil stories.
I mean,
I
it's the
should
best
let.
one of the year, at least.
Yeah, I'll say that. But even then, it just feels very run of the mill.
Yeah. I think it does at least try something a bit different at the end. But
Yeah,
even so, I don't think it
but
engaged me that much. It doesn't feel like it has any energy to it.
and I feel like it almost feels rushed. I feel like it needed to be longer than an hour,
I
or
mean,
maybe like 5-10 minutes extra.
yeah.
Because like that big sea creature on the cover,
Hardly in it. Yeah.
it's like a 30-second, 20-second bit of a story.
It's like about 15 minutes in as well, and that's it.
Yeah,
It feels very stop and starty towards the end as well, doesn't it?
yeah. And you're like, how are you going to resolve this in 10 minutes? And it does it, but I wouldn't say I was like, I left feeling satisfied by it.
No.
It's
I mean,
average. I'd say it's a 5.
yeah. Lay Down Your Arms, was that any better for you?
I enjoyed it because it was just a fun comedy one, really.
It's got some great dialogue in there, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's what I enjoyed about it. It was just, the Tsar of Russia with like Eccleston flirting. It sort of took me back to Ravagers when he's like, "Oh, buy me a drink first." And like, "Oh no, he's talking to me."
Yeah.
Yeah, and like the idea of the Ninth Doctor in like a bathing suit.
Oh, yeah, that was a interesting image.
And you're like, my image in my head's completely changed.
Do you imagine him in the same one as the First Doctor? Could we not have had that on the cover? Take that picture from.
I imagined it like Romana's one from like Leisure Hive.
Oh my goodness!
Like a stripe
of the TARDIS
like a
wardrobe.
like a stripy bathing suit. Yeah, that's what I had in my head.
Oh, I had the Hartnell one in my head from.
You've got more of a cursed
Space.
version.
Yeah, I feel like.
Yeah, that's cursed.
That's just what comes to mind when I think Doctor and bathing suit, I suppose. I mean, we'll be getting to see that in HD soon.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's what you're going to be doing later, Luke.
But yeah, it's a fun story. But I feel like it lost me in the middle.
It goes to Growly Monster.
Yeah, very audio mess, I suppose.
Yeah.
It's like loads of stuff is happening, but you can't really pinpoint anything.
The monster's cool though. I think
like
Trinity, the snakes. Yeah, really cool idea.
It feels like it almost gets going into that climax a bit too quickly. It's quite a chill mystery, people hanging out at this spa, and then suddenly all hell breaks loose. And then we have quite a long ending, which I think works for what it's going for, because it's very much about Bertha Kinsky, the first woman to win the Nobel Prize. And I mean, it's nice that this was able to shed some light on her as a historical figure. And certainly it is very much built around that. But other than that, I think it's fun. It's quite short. It's the shortest one of the box sets, under 50 minutes.
Yeah, it's 49, isn't it?
Yeah. But it doesn't do anything to save the Type Doctor Adventures for me either. And then Flat Pack, I have listened to, you haven't. I think it's quite good. It's my favourite of the box set. But I feel like when it comes to old companions meeting a new Doctor, you almost expect more. With this, it is very much. I mean, you hear it in the trailer. Is that the Doctor over there? Hello, Liv. Hello, Tanya. Oh, yes, it is. And then we just get on with it. Like, there are some good lines about grieving for the 8th Doctor and such. how can you grieve when with time travel you could see them again the next day? But overall, I think it doesn't quite go as big on it as it could. And maybe I'm just expecting a school reunion style thing, and that's just not
Which
what.
you could, I think, anything. I guess it's a bit like classic companions and 10th Doctor. Nothing will ever beat school reunion because that's the pinnacle of what we can do for a companion reunion.
Yeah. But it almost feels like, if you shoot for the stars, or if you shoot for the moon, at least you'll miss and be in the stars, I think is the saying, isn't it?
Yeah.
With this, it doesn't even feel like it's trying to shoot for the moon. At least when it comes to that side of emotional things, it's like, at least if you're aiming for the same thing, you could come out with something pretty good. But
do you think that it's playing safe because maybe people who pick up the Eccleston stuff haven't picked up the McGann stuff?
I think that's the other thing, isn't it? The paywall aspect of it is that you can only do so much. And I think as well with Helen at the moment, you don't know whether she stays with the Eighth Doctor beyond Liv if she leaves before. And so there's just no mention of her whatsoever because they obviously want to leave themselves in free hands before they decide. But yeah, it feels like an odd omission, but I can see why they've done it because they don't want to tie their hands for later down the line.
Yeah.
But yeah, as a concept, I quite like what Flatpack does. But I feel like it's almost done similarly by Station to Station and done better there. It's all like a place that but it's a bit weird at the same time. And I feel like Station to Station does that better with the train station than Flatpack does with the Flatpack store.
Okay.
But yeah, and also in a similar way, it's sort of a bit timey-wimey, I guess. But yeah, at the same, I like the starting point for the idea of this, though. The idea that shops are designed to keep you in as long as possible so that you buy more stuff. And so this is a nice comment on. This is a nice comment on the consumerism side of things, I suppose, and how malevolent that manipulation can perhaps be. Because you've got the same thing like online as well with algorithms and stuff, haven't you? There's certainly some interesting morals there, and this is just doing what sci-fi does best, taking these parts of our everyday lives that maybe are a bit more sinister than we believe they are, and running with them really. So Flatpack, not bad, but yeah, certainly maybe I was expecting more from it, I guess. But yeah, Liv and Tanya work great with the Ninth Doctor though.
You can imagine that because Stranded is quite a domestic series, and Eccleston's quite a domestic Doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I think there's no real adjustment period of it, really. It does just feel right when they're all together. Yeah. So, what have we got next? Is it more Ninth Doctor news next? Oh, no, it's Once and Future first. We got... where is that? That's the Ninth Doctor news. Should we do the Ninth Doctor news now, since we just...
Yeah, since we're talking about it.
Yeah. I mean, despite everything I've just said, I'm interested in this box set. It's got my attention. Even though there's no two-parter at the end, sadly. We got just on a 3 standalone episodes here. I'm interested. How about you?
No.
Yeah.
I'm just...
I can't blame.
I don't know if I'm just at... Like, this might be really harsh, even though I'd be like praising like First Doctor stuff. I don't know if I've just come to a point now where I'm at Big Finish fatigue and I need a little bit of a step back from it.
Maybe.
To respark that love. Because I think, this year just hasn't really hit me as much as I'd like it to have.
I suppose hopefully like having a fresh start in 2023 will help that.
Yeah, because like bar the War Master and Eighth Doctor stuff in December, I'm kind of like, I can take or leave those releases.
Yeah. How about Unit? We loved Unit at the start. Have you got off that now?
I think it's been that long. I've just sort of forgot it happened, to be honest. Like, I'm in a weird place with Big Finish at this point. Like, I listen to it, I consume it, I don't think any more of it. Like that's a bit of a toxic trait I've got with it at the minute.
I feel like that was me with some Ninth Doctor stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this box set, what's on your bingo card? Crinoids, Fashion Rada, both or neither?
Nothing.
No.
Like I don't know. I just wanted like a two-parter.
Yeah, I know.
I want something where I can get invested in it. You know, I think that's what I want something where I can be invested in a series like 11th Doctor. I'm invested in that because it's another 3 box sets, and it's a series. Whereas this is, like we say, Companion of the Week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they'd be great.
One of the companions.
Yeah, but then you feel like kind of had it with Perkins.
Yeah, that's true. Wait, he's a nosy neighbour here, isn't he? Is supposedly what's going on here with a junk shop. That's me. Junk shop right after we've gone from the flat pack store. Feels a bit of an odd choice to put those two back to back.
Because like the way these stories seem to have been made, it seems like they just had a selection of scripts and go, oh, very sort of time with a theme, put them together. Yeah.
I mean, I think
they've
they've
just-
even said that on the extras that they have sort of jumbled these about a bit depending on, what suits what plays better.
Yeah, and they've just been given like an umbrella title just to cover it. Yeah, I don't
Shades
know.
of fear for this one. Yeah. I mean, The Blooming Menace is a brilliant title. But yeah, by James Kettle, though, who I've not loved either of his previous Ninth Doctor scripts. This sort of feels more in line with the hunting season. We've got 1920s Gentleman Club here.
Yeah.
But he did do a good job on, what was that one? The Blazing Hour.
Yeah.
So, he could come through here. This could be...
It did Suburban Terror, was it?
Yeah, that's the one.
I didn't like that one. You liked it.
Yeah. Terror of the Suburbs, that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Red Darkness by Roy Gill. Roy Gill's been a solid writer, so yeah.
He did a good job with Old Friends.
Yeah. Hopefully it feels like good enough of a finale, even though it's only a one-parter. So I think with this series of Ninth Doctor Adventures, at least, we did very much get a opener feel with Station to Station.
Yeah.
So hopefully we at least get a closing feel with Red Darkness. We'll see. But yeah, overall, I do nevertheless feel like with the Ninth Doctor, I'm not going to be upset if we don't have another one for a while. I think after that first series, there was that worry of, are we going to have more Eccleston, or are we going to have to wait ages? Now I'm at the point where, we've had nearly 24 Eccleston stories. We know we're getting them in Once in Future as well.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not going to be too upset if we go without some Eccleston use for a while, which feels wrong to say.
Yeah.
Especially when you look back 2 years. But yeah, that's just how I feel at the moment. Yeah, I wonder if we got any screen. I haven't checked the chat in a while. Have we got people decrying us here?
No, I think we're safe.
Starch one says, fun fact, Jonathan Morris's original comedic version of Hot House was called Bloomin' Horrible, and would have been about a kitchen serving crinoids and having it rampage the Chelsea Flower Show. That was mentioned in the booklet, wasn't it? I remember reading that. Yeah.
That'd been cool.
Thoughts on Nick Briggs confirming the early adventures are finished? I mean, we sort of expected it anyway. It's a shame. But I feel like we'd sort of come to terms with it before that, hadn't we?
Yeah. But things might be afoot in other areas involving those people.
Yeah. Hopefully, it's just be good to get some more with those companions still. Because the direction first and second Doctor Adventures are going at the moment seems to be leaning away from the companions of the eras.
Yeah.
Or at least the ones that really got explored in the early adventures. Hopefully we return to them elsewhere. Joe Bauer says, I think it's a shame the early adventures has ended. It was such a great range. Plus, what are they going to do with the actors? Transfer them to the first and second adventures with Noonan and Troughton. Yeah, that's the thing, really, isn't it? The actors. I mean, people like Maureen O'Brien got transferred over to the Ninth Doctor adventures, so
yeah,
we'll see where things go.
Yeah.
David Tennant was interviewed on BBC Breakfast this morning. Yes, he was. You see, there was a little clip of that where he's saying, he can't spoil anything, which is
Yeah,
understandable.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a year away, so less than a year, but yeah.
Dragonbug says, been fun hanging out, but I have to hop off to bed now. Good night, Dragonbugs. Thank you for joining us.
Good night. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Anyway, let's plow through.
Yeah.
Do you want to save Once and Future for last?
Yeah, I think that'd be a nice little bold way to finish
Yeah.
the thing.
Yeah, I suppose Torchwood versus the Autons next. This was a surprise. Getting them both the probably same day as well. They're both out in January. Double part 1 and part 2. Guy Adams back as well, which was nice to see because he's got a release coming out in March. He's doing the Ice Warrior 4th Doctor story. But, they record those ages ago. That would have been written about 5 years ago now.
Yeah.
So it seemed like, we were wondering, has Guy Adams moved on from Big Finish? But no, he's still here. And what do you think of this? What was your reaction to this announcement?
Ooh, different. But I like the sound of it. I'm a big fan of the 1970s. Having the Spearhead Auton on a cover was kind of made me weak. I don't know. It's kind of what I wanted Sargasso to be honest.
Yeah, I see that.
I like it. I like the sound of it. Louise Jameson taking lead.
That seems like the perfect casting.
Yeah.
I mean, especially with Leela as a character, because she is so unique, I think that gives Louise Jameson the chance to really sink her teeth into a very different type of character.
Yeah.
And not necessarily be confused with Leela.
Yeah.
So yeah, that should be good to see.
Yeah, definitely a pick up.
And it's exciting having a 2-parter as well, even though it's a shame it's split across 2 discs, so you have to pay a bit more than you usually would for just 2 discs in one case.
Yeah, I thought we were over that stage with Big Finish.
But no, apparently not. But yeah, I think it's been nice seeing Torchwood expand, really, hasn't it, in recent years?
Yeah.
I mean, the 1950s Torchwood with Soho has been great, so it's good to see it reach into another era now and starting off with some new characters. Because before they sort of dipped their toes in, didn't they? With Norton Folgate, who was introduced as a side character alongside Andy Davidson in the present. Then when they saw there was the popularity there, they pushed that further and gave him his own series. With this, they are jumping straight in the deep end, and I'm all for it. I mean, you've got the Autons there as a safety net, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, it feels like, what would have gone out on ITV if BBC had worked with ITV in the in the 70s and came up with Torchwood of their own.
I wonder if I like a 70s version of the Torchwood theme.
Oh, that'd be good. I imagine so, because it's got like a 50s version, hasn't it? And a Victoria on the version, so I could see them doing their own little spin on it. But yeah, it looks really gritty. I'm excited to see. Just have a new world to play in, really, isn't it? It's new territory to explore.
Yeah.
And 2 great covers as well. It always looks double part 2 gives me a Jerry Anderson vibe a bit. It does look like a Jerry Anderson puppet.
Yeah, I can see that.
I suppose you've got the oil rigs in the background. It looks like Thunderbird's about to be called into the rescue at any point. Yeah. What other ones have we got here? 5th Doctor. We've known about this set for a while, haven't we?
April. It was the first thing to be announced for the 2023 bundle.
Yeah, we got the description of Friendly Fire, didn't we? We knew that Jonathan Barnes was writing the 2nd story, but we didn't know quite what it was yet. What do you
like
make
the sound of that one. I like the sound of the 2nd story more than the 1st.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, it seems like back to basics for the 5th Doctor after 40.
I think that's what you need, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's nice to have 3-parters because they've sort of not really been a thing of Big Finish since like 2007.
I think it's nice with these box sets to have that even split. Because with the 4-parter and the 2-parter format, you feel like, you've got the main meat to go for, and then you've got a bonus.
Yeah.
Whereas this, it feels like both stories are on equal footing.
Equal. Yeah.
Which is a nice way to go about it. I get like a double bill vibe from the cover, like what they did in the monthly range. The way this is
Yeah,
done
I
with,
see
like,
that.
you got the friendly fire half here, and then the edge of the war half here, which works very well. It's a nice cover.
I'd say like the first story gives me sort of like BBC Books feel to it. It feels very sort of BBC Books.
It sort of gives me a Alien Heart vibe. I'd say, because it's got that similar setup of like that colony world, doesn't it? I mean, apparently it's going for a Mad Max feel, which you can see.
I can see it a little bit with the buggy thing.
Yeah, and like the armor Alice Krieg's character's wearing there. But yeah, I'm on the same side as you there. I'm definitely more looking forward to the Edge of the War with this set.
Yeah.
But yeah, certainly I'm excited for both stories though, and it'll be nice to have just some more Fifth Doctor, because we haven't had that much of him.
No.
Like, we only had 40, and so it'd be good to get some regular Fifth Doctor content rather than celebratory stuff.
That's the start of his relaunch,
Yeah. As good as the celebratory stuff is, it's like a nice little special. It's cherry on top, but we don't have a cake yet.
Yes.
Yeah, so this will be good to hear. Yeah, I mean, other than that, Blake Seven's come out. We talked about Time War. Box set pre-order prices are back to Torchwood's Lincolnshire Poacher came out. I'll be picking that one up at some point, but haven't got round to it yet. So we'll probably talk about that in December when we do our Torchwood stream. And yeah, it's just Once and Future now. Here we go. Let's
finally at the end.
Yeah. Thank you everyone for sticking with us. How far through are we now? Nearly 2 hours.
Nearly 2 hours.
Longer than I expected us to go for here.
Yeah.
We love a waffle. We love a tangent.
We do.
Joe Bauer says, always great to see Alice Krieg do more Big Finish. She's always been great in everything she's in.
Yeah, Big Finish seems to be poaching quite a few Star Trek people in now, because there was one of the Star Trek people in Year of Martha Jones. That's a thing. That box happened, and it kind of just was like, it exists, it happened, and it just, nobody really spoke about it.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? With a lot
it's quite sad.
Big Finish box that's down, because so many things are like these big events. It's like, nothing could really get its head over the shoulders of the rest of the crowd. Nothing, because everything's made to stand out and nothing stands out. And so it's interesting what they've done here with Once and Future after everything else has gone into box sets. Box sets used to be the special thing, and then everything became a box set. So how do you make your big 60th event stand out? You make it a series of individual releases.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, fair enough.
I mean, it worked for Out of Time.
Yeah, that's true. But I suppose that's not like a different style, isn't it? Because they were 3 separate things. But yeah, I mean, this is one every month from May to September. And in October, you get 2. And you have to wait until November 2024 to get the final part of it.
I think that's got to be a mistype.
No, it doesn't seem to be. They've spoke about it on social media and said, yeah, you got to wait for that, because it is sort of like a bonus at the end, rather than, it's not necessarily the finale. Like the 7th episode is the finale, and then this is, the coda at the end of it.
Okay, all right.
Which I could also see, like with Legacy of Time, the Light at the End as well. That came out in October, didn't it? Because they didn't want to mess with the actual 50th.
Yeah.
So I could see with this, they want to get it all out of the way by October, and then let the BBC have the 60th itself.
I mean, I think next year we should do a multi-Doctor tier list type thing.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I think we should cover like every multi-Doctor story in expanded media and TV, because I think that'd be a fitting thing to do.
There's certainly a lot of them now.
Yeah, for sure.
And I mean, this seems to be doing something different though, doesn't it? Because
Yes.
plot-wise, this is sort of similar to what the 60th is doing, except it's not just one face the Doctor's gone back to; it's all of them as he
I
flicks through different regenerations.
I think this is quite exciting that we're getting expanded media tying with the TV series, like Doctor Who magazine with the comic they're doing. I'm conscious not to spoil it, but it being the first 14th Doctor story. And these stories are going to somewhat link into the actual TV stuff as well.
Have they said that?
Yeah.
Why did they say that?
I think it was said on some sort of I don't know if it was Doctor Who TV or something, but apparently it does link in with the
Oh,
TV stuff in some way.
yeah. I mean, I can't imagine it's too big a way because this was planned and they started recording a lot of this ages ago, didn't they? Like, I
Yeah.
think they said 3 years in the making. So this was before Russell even came back, which I think is why there's a similar idea there with the Doctor revisiting old faces. Because, it's not like they've stolen that from Russell, and Russell definitely wouldn't have stolen it from Big Finish. It's just they've happened upon the same idea at the same time to do something to celebrate in a different way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I don't feel too hyped for this.
There's not much to get excited about at the minute for it.
I think instantly with the first line of the synopsis, the Time War, I'm sort of put off by it.
You're like,
I'm not a fan of how Big
no.
Finish handled the Time War, and
I mean, I
just
can already hear the opening of it.
I imagine
Like-
it's going to be McGann we start with,
Yeah.
and then I just wish it wasn't built around the Time War as an event. I think it would have been nice to have it be its own event in some way, but hopefully it does enough unique stuff and isn't dragged down by the baggage of the Time War, because we already had a anniversary built around that with the 50th.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Tom Baker, Peter Davison, Colin Baker, Weston McCoy, Paul McGann, Chris Brockleston, and David Tennant. And I mean, do you think we'll have Stephen Noonan, Michael Troughton, and Tim Treloar in there as well?
I reckon so too.
Yeah, I think definitely Tim Treloar. The only thing that makes me think maybe not Stephen and Michael is that because they were planning this 3 years in advance, they wouldn't have been cast yet. But they could always find a way to work on it. I mean, they wouldn't have known about Eccleston around that time, so presumably it's fairly flexible the way this works.
And maybe because if the November 2024 thing is true, do you think we could see Tennant being 14?
Yeah, I saw someone theorize about that. I mean, maybe.
Like, that's wild to think about.
Will his clothes change in between regenerations as well?
I mean, maybe that's like the limited edition. You get different outfit.
Yeah.
For
Or is everyone just going to be in the Night of the Doctor look?
Okay.
That'd be interesting. Yeah, I mean, certainly, I'm excited to see what different combinations they can come up with because of this, because it is all technically during the 8th Doctor's timeline, presumably.
Yeah.
Or it could be Jonathan Carley, you never know.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, that would probably open the doors a bit more to different Doctor and companion interactions. And I think that's the thing. When it comes to these celebrations, they often go for like the go-to team-ups. I'd rather they do more different things and celebrate the wide range of Doctors and companions by giving us like combinations we wouldn't see anywhere else.
Yeah.
Similar to what they did with Locum Doctors, how that got to pair up different Doctors and companions. Give us 6th Doctor and Donna. Why not?
Yeah, finally get the sass off.
Yeah. So story-wise, we got Past Lives, The Artist at the End of Time. Do you think that's going to have David Tennant in it?
Maybe.
Sort of feel like a wasted opportunity if it didn't. That was almost more of a shock than Eccleston, to be honest, having Tennant in it.
Maybe that was that Project Tennant was.
Yeah,
They
it could
said
be.
about Tennant recording another project that wasn't quite finished, so maybe
Yeah.
this is it.
Well, it would be the right time to record it. A Genius for War. Choose Company. Could that be Michael Troughton? The Martian Invasion of Planetoid 50. Ice Warriors, I suppose.
I can see that being McCoy.
Yeah. The Union, Time Lord Immemorial, and then Coda, the final acts. Yeah. It's hard to really guess much release title,
Yeah.
but it's interesting seeing them go for something different and go for this huge 8-hour story instead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope it pays off. What do you make of the formatting? You've got limited edition and regular as well.
Again, I'm kind of confused by it. Like I've gone for the limited.
It's only a little bit more expensive, so you might as well.
You might as well, and there's only 3,000. Unless they've got like shiny covers and I don't know.
The limited edition CDs and downloads, which include numbered CD. So just these ones are not numbered.
Right? Okay. Is that the only difference?
Is this the standard stuff? Is it not going to be consistent on the shelf? But then the limited edition is. That's the draw there.
That's the price you pay.
Yeah. You pay the extra money for the consistency. Special bonus artwork. So is it going to have like the concept art and the
nice.
leaflet again?
That'd be
And additional audio content. So that's the music suites and extended extras.
I guess it's a bit like the Temple River, that you got the extras.
Yeah.
In that, maybe I don't know.
I mean, it is just going to be odd having this huge event on the shelf, but it is only going to be in the single CD cases, so it's not going to stand out that much compared to the box sets.
I'm already questioning where do I put it.
Yeah, that's true. I suppose maybe with near the Time War stuff. I don't know.
Out of time? Does it go with like the special bonus release? I don't. That's a future Ben problem.
Yeah, you can work it out when they all arrive. Yeah, I suppose that's it for the news. I suppose that was November in Big Finish. That was what took us 2 hours to talk about a whole month's worth of stuff.
That's pretty good going.
Yeah. There we go.
So yeah, if you've got any final questions before we say goodbye, drop them in the chat.
Get in the chat now. This podcast of Star Trek has been something I wanted to get into for years. Now, ever since that Futurama episode. Also, hot take: Futurama's better than The Simpsons.
I have to agree, actually.
I can't really say I've seen enough of either of them to fairly judge, to be honest. I feel like Simpsons is almost that staple, isn't it? But
I think Simpsons have just sort of died.
Yeah, I mean, isn't Futurama also gone? Like, didn't that come?
I think it's it come to an end twice, and now they're bringing it back.
Oh, they bring it back.
I don't know.
Again.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's with The Simpsons. It's the brand powerhouse, isn't it? Because same with SpongeBob. They keep going on, even though the quality, they know it's not there. It needs to keep going because it makes up for that when it comes to the outside merchandise. Drew Bowers asks, given this year we've had 40 box sets for 5, do you think we'll get a 60 box set for 1 next year? I don't think so, to be honest. I feel like with the first Doctor box set, I think that's all we're getting, unless we maybe get a Bradley as well.
Maybe we just get like the multiple faces of the first Doctor. We get a recast Richard Hurnell.
The 3 first Doctors.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still waiting for the Lost Stories 3 Doctors to be announced.
Yeah. I feel like there's room for that now, because we don't have a typical multi-Doctor story. So I think that would work to sort of fill that gap. that Once and Future isn't quite taking. So I just want to ask recommendations from the rollback, DWM, and Fourth Doctor sales. I don't even know what the DWM sale is.
I can't remember off the top of my head. Is the magazine there? I don't think is that the magazine? No, that's a Chronicles.
Let's get the rollback quickly.
Is that's like the box set ones?
There we go. I'll share that.
Yeah, go on.
259. I mean, you quite liked Emancipation of the Daleks, didn't you?
Yeah, I'd say it's a solid 8 out of 10, and it's a nice trilogy of stories. I mean, probably would have been better than the Monk trilogy,
Oh.
but yeah, it's good. It was a good set. Good audio novel.
Well, Blood and Steel. If you've not picked up that one, definitely go for that.
Definitely recommend that.
And 42 as well. I think you don't even necessarily have to get 41 to understand it. It does work well enough on its own. It's a nice little bonus, but I think this is by far the best story of the three.
Mm-hmm. Just moving on from those.
Right, moving on. Oh, Stuff and Nightmares.
Yeah, I recommend it. I think that's one of the most surprising releases of the year.
I think it sort of helps that we weren't expecting much from it with the monster choices.
Yeah.
So then we got even more blown away when it did come out. Oh, Unit Seabird 1. Definitely worth getting. The Bambera stuff is the peak of Unit.
Yeah, I think they've definitely learned with Unit.
Yeah.
Beyond War Games?
Yeah, I'd say worth getting. I suppose it sort of depends on where things go next. I know Stylish One, who asked, already has the set.
Yeah,
and certainly loves it. So yeah. Yeah, I suppose with that, it sort of depends the quality of what's coming up for me, whether or not I can recommend that. But yeah. I don't know, maybe not the 9. Maybe just Shell Shock. If you're a download collector and you're not obsessed with getting every single story, just get Shell Shock on its own.
If you like No Man's Land, pick up Shell Shock.
Would you recommend War Master Self Defense?
No.
Me neither. I don't. It was bad to say.
Yeah,
because
it's got such a good cover. Tennant's in it. That last episode is probably the best. But
I mean, we were raving about War Master earlier about how good Scott Hancock was, but yeah, this is the weakest of the range for me. Or maybe this and Rage of Time Lords. I think they're both pretty far down there.
I'd say it's probably second from bottom.
Yeah. I think you could tell that very much that the last story was recorded first. I written first in a rush because they only had Tennant for a limited time. And then they had to build the rest of the box set around that somehow, and it doesn't quite come together as neatly as it should. Back to Earth, actually, yeah. I can recommend that one. Station to Station is brilliant, and so is Old Lang Syne. Yeah. You get a bit of a dud in the middle, but well. But would you say that's still the worst of the Ninth Doctor Adventures, actually?
Which
I can't remember what it's called now. The Last Dimitri. The False Dimitri, that's it, sorry.
I feel like Hunting Season's kind of there.
I feel like I enjoyed parts of Hunting Season at least. But yeah, maybe Last of the Zeta Scene, actually.
Yeah, I'd probably say Last of the Zeta Scene.
Yeah.
Because I remember more of False Dimitri.
Neither of them were that great. I remember listening to False Dimitri just being like, can this be over now, please? It's one of those check in your watch ones.
I mean, it took me about 3 days to finish it. So, Outlaws, I recommend.
Yeah, I'd say so. Solo, again, I'd say worth going for the Ravencliff Witch.
I'd agree.
So, I mean, Blood and Time Lords isn't too bad, though. But I think so, for some, that might be a bit of a you want to avoid that one because of a certain actor in there, which is understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah. 8th of March 2 is a no. Old Friends, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely
Banger.
Annihilators. That one you got to go for.
Yeah. Slap a big yes on that release.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know Stylish one if you've got that one or not, but certainly you love your second Doctor. This does tie into the ongoing Beyond the War game stuff, so go for it if you haven't.
Go for it.
41 can kind of recommend.
No.
Nowhere near as great as 42, but I think the first 2 episodes of Secrets of Telos are brilliant.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Lost Warriors, yeah.
Mm.
Just sort of skipping through now. Responsible Calls, yeah.
Yeah, I'd recommend that.
There we go.
There we go. Did it.
There's a 4th Doctor one as well, wasn't there? I think, is that just Series 6 and
7?
Series 6 and 7, yeah. It's up here, isn't it? Oh, here it is. Oh no, right back to 3.
So, okay.
It's just the ones that left on CD.
I recommend Crooked Man.
Yeah, I'd recommend White Ghost as well. Evil One, actually, I remember that was surprising.
Yeah, we did that one last April, didn't we?
Yeah.
Well, I say last April, but last year's April.
Yeah. Destroy the Infinite, definitely.
Yeah.
Darkness of Glass, yeah.
Requiem for the Rocket Men, I recommend.
Mm.
Even though don't bother with Deathmatch.
Yeah.
Cloisters of Terror, I re-listened to that one a couple months ago. Still holds up quite well.
Fate of Kratos, I really like. Yeah, it seems Return to Telos is gone now.
Trouble with Drax, 100% recommend. And Labyrinth of Buddha Castle.
Yeah, anything from series, I think it's series 5, isn't it? Except the 2-part finale, to be honest.
Actually, I don't mind that 2-part finale.
Oh, have you turned around on it a bit now?
Yeah. I thought it was pretty good.
It's just a David Warner fanboy.
I like David Warner, all right?
Beast of Kravanos and Eternal Battle, yes. You quite liked this finale as well, didn't you?
Skin of the Sleek.
Yeah.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed it. It felt very season 18 with like the world that was set around it and giving Romana her own master.
Yeah. I wasn't that keen on it, but there you go. That's one of us recommending at least. Haunting of Malcolm Place we spoke about earlier.
Yeah.
Death Ras is another good one.
Death Ras is like the most season 18 Big Finish, I feel. Like there's some nice high sci-fi concept there.
I'd recommend I'd recommend both series, both Volume 1 and Volume 2 of Series 7.
I wouldn't. It's my least favourite of the Tom stuff.
If I had to go for one, I'd say Volume 1.
I'd go Volume 1 because I like the Cromarsh experiment. Is it a Cromarsh experiment?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. And I like the Vox story. I've not finished Mind Runner or Demon. Is it? I don't know. Demon one. I don't know. I can't remember what it's called.
Demon Rise, I think.
Demon Rise, yeah.
I went back on that when we did our 4th Doctor tier list, I think. Yeah, I redid all of Series 7 in the end. Definitely recommend this at that price. You can't go wrong there.
No, yeah, especially for amounts of crime.
And comic adaptations could be quite fitting for something upcoming.
I think we should review that for a throwback soon.
Yeah, I think so. I've been in the mood to go back to it as well. So, yeah, there we go.
There we are. Yeah, that's a lot of recommendations there. So if you've got money for Christmas or you want Christmas presents, and yeah,
I think that's the thing. When people ask for recommendations, are you asking for like the top? Are you asking like a top 3, a top 1 from that sale,
5,
or do you just
4?
want us to go through and say this is good, pick that up. This isn't good, don't pick that up.
Yeah.
Because it's a bit awkward with a recommendation because we're recommending so many a lot of the time. But
Yeah.
so maybe we should more limit ourselves to 3. I think problem is we don't really check out the sales as
No.
closely because we know we've got them all anyway. And so when it comes to being
Yeah.
asked this, we have to go through anyway to look.
Where we're at, yeah.
Do you think Zagreus will be in the Big Finish 60th after being referenced in a few audios similar to how it's referenced in early main range audios before the Big Finish 40th?
Oh yeah, self-defense recommended.
Yeah.
Not referenced.
Yeah, the Ballmaster
Zagreus,
sang a
yeah.
little song, didn't he?
Yeah. Not on my bingo card.
Yeah. I doubt it, to be honest. I think it's more just the writers having a bit of fun, isn't it? I mean, they've been referencing quite a few different obscure things, haven't they?
Yeah.
Throughout Big Finish. What's their favourite one at the moment? What's that Stephen Moffat spoof?
Oh, Curse of Fatal Death.
Yeah, I swear they referenced that a couple of times. I can't remember.
I Bribed the Architect. I remember hearing that.
Yeah.
In an audio. I can't remember which one, but I remember it.
I feel like maybe a River Song one. For that line.
Yes. Yeah, that does seem right.
I'm thinking expiry dating actually.
Yeah.
Okay. I think is that it for tonight, do you think?
I think so. It's been a nice time to catch up.
Yeah. Do you want to give him one last reminder of what's coming tomorrow?
Yes. Tomorrow we enter not the Big Finish era of Doctor Who, but TV Doctor Who. But there's a sprinkle in a Big Finish there as we begin the Regeneration Marathon Advent calendar. So you're going to get 24 days of me and Luke. So it probably works about 24 hours of us, maybe longer.
Yeah, maybe a little bit under. I don't know. Approximately that amount, isn't it?
Yeah, approximately 24 hours of us talking about Regeneration stories. So from 10th Planet to Power of a Doctor. So yes, we will be covering the Twin Dilemma. Luke has never seen the Twin Dilemma until doing this series, so it's fun to experience that. So the format is basically us talking about the Doctor, a bit of history on the production, a little bit of trivia from TARDIS Wiki, and a synopsis breakdown, then a review of the story itself.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, isn't it? And that kicks off with 10th Planet tomorrow. And after that, we hop to Power of the Daleks. So we do Regeneration, Post-Regeneration, and then Regeneration again with the War Games. And it's that sort of pattern taking us up to the Power of the Doctor on the 24th. Yeah, if you want more information, we did do a little announcement video probably about a month ago now. So that's what gives you the lowdown on what's going on there. You can look for that on the channel.
7 o'clock. Be there or be exterminated. I don't know. You
Delete
probably
it,
won't be.
Yeah,
I'll delete the video and nobody can enjoy the calendar series.
Be there or have a pleasant time with whatever else you get up to, because we know people lead busy lives. But yeah, we'd certainly appreciate the support on that series because it's been a big project of ours for a while now. So yeah,
it's been a year in concept. It's been about 6 months in the making.
Yeah, I think end of May, start of June was when we recorded. I think we say it in the actual video when we're recording it for the 10th Planet. So you get like a little time capsule.
There's jokes about the Centenary special going, what's the title? Obviously, we're going to get people going, it's Power of a Doctor, you idiots. But obviously, we've got so much to watch. Yeah,
that's it, really. I mean, back when we started, Boris Johnson was still Prime Minister.
How many Prime Ministers are we on now? As many as Doctors have we covered?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, man. Yeah, mental.
What a ride it's been.
Yeah.
I mean, we talk about this year feeling like it's going fast. It does feel like ages ago at the same time that we started this series.
Yeah, it really is.
All
Yeah,
Doctor Who
it's good.
TVR live stream tomorrow for 24 days. No, it's all pre-recorded stuff. I mean, but we will
God,
still
we'd be
have the
dead.
occasional live stream going on throughout, won't we?
Yeah, we'll probably do a Christmas Q&A.
Yeah.
I don't know if I don't know what fun we'll do, whether it be a chocolate bar tier list. I don't know. We'll do something a bit goofy, have a
Yeah.
good time, and be all festive and jolly.
Yeah. And then
Um,
in the new year, we'll do our 2022 Big Finish tier list, the mega one,
yeah.
where Ben can talk about how much he hated this year.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, I think I might need a little holiday before we dive into stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think it'd be well earned. You know, we'll have 20 plus videos going out as well. So yeah, maybe we can have a little break
Yeah,
as
a
well.
little lie down. Yeah. I mean,
A
we've
little
got
lie down,
7 more to record, and then we'll be, well, I say putting our feet up. I've still got thumbnails to make. You've still got
edited to
videos
do.
to edit. So yeah, it won't be too easy going for us just yet, but it'll be
No,
over soon, and then we can relax as we don't have that deadline there. But yeah,
no.
so it's on track though. We're gonna get it
Yeah,
out
yeah,
on time. We're finishing
yeah,
this series. Yeah.
for sure.
Thank you everyone for tuning in, listening to us ramble on about Big Finish once again. We're glad
Yeah,
you all stuck around with us.
yeah.
It has been a while, but it's good to know that you're all still out there waiting for us to come back and share our opinions.
Yeah, so if you enjoyed the stream or you're watching it on playback, please like and subscribe if you're new. Helps the channel so we can build a nice community of people when we do these streams. We can get people in the chat and the people lurking who don't comment. We appreciate you. We appreciate you taking your time out of your day to just listen or watch us talk about Doctor Who and our rubbish opinions on it. But yeah, it's all good.
Good night, everyone, and
Good night.
we'll see you at 7:00 tomorrow, or past us. We'll see us. See
Yeah,
you,
past us
7
was
o'clock
it.
tomorrow.
Younger versions of us.
Yeah, our previous incarnations.
Where we're full of hope and joy. Yeah. Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.